Oh boy, all right. It's been another one of them days. Let us get a game up on the board. We got some dual Destinies for y'all today. Hank. Oh, life. Alright, 1 second here. Reload this monitor real quick. Get our controls to work. Okay, we already did a save, so we'll continue. Alright, we left off. Just about to interrogate Mr. Fulbright. Oh, good heck. My fear of the moon rock. I felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom. Yes, I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all. So the very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock means I'm not him. In fact, I'm on the side of justice. And there you have it. Now do you see why I'm afraid of the moon rock? Sure, you sound convincing enough. But so does any two-bit con artist. It's all meaningless in the absence of evidence. The Phantom is like the mist. No flesh, no bones. My sword alone cannot cut it, right, Dono? With your deductive reasoning and the body of evidence before us, let us send this miserable Phantom fellow to the other world together. You and I, Prosecutor Blackwell. We have a duty to bring the Phantom down and restore the people's faith in the courts. Indeed. By covering for Athena, I allow the Phantom to escape. And as a prosecutor, I gave birth to people's mistrust of my murder conviction. I bear part of the responsibility as well, for being suspected of forging evidence and losing my attorney's badge as a result. The two of us and the Phantom were there at the beginning of the Dark Age of the Law. But it is also our burden to cut away the foul spectre we created, is it not? And in all that remains, the righteousness of the court and the faith of the people. Trust? Understanding? Ha! Fragile ideas of the masses who are controlled by emotion. Humans can't truly trust each other, which is exactly why the illusion of trust is so enticing.
Objection!
Once two people overcome their misgivings, that's where real trust is to be found. You're free to believe what you want, but trust like that is stronger than you and your lies. Always. Cross-examination. My fear of the moon rock. I felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom.
Hold it!
It only reminded you of the Phantom? Don't make me laugh. You are the Phantom. Evidence is everything in a court of law. Or did you forget? I was forced to testify over a silly thing like feelings. But those tactics won't work from here on out. You'll need real evidence. I hate to admit it, but he's right. Yes, I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage.
Hold it!
Your family? Like, who in your family specifically? Oh, I don't know. Like, maybe my lover, for example? real convincing. For example, maybe we need more concrete answer than that. Ha ha ha! Maybe my mother, my son, or my daughter. Maybe it was all of them. I'm so sad and worried. I miss them so much. Ha ha ha! He's obviously lying. Look how upset I am. Is it any wonder I followed the Phantom's orders? What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all.
Hold it!
You sure about that? You can't think of a single reason that the Phantom might be afraid of the rock. I thought the Phantom wasn't even supposed to have any feelings. How can someone like me, with my wealth of emotions, be expected to understand the guy? The Phantom, a person with very few emotions, would only be afraid of something really big, like his cover getting blown big. I'm willing to bet that the moon rock has something to do with his identity, but what? It is still in the remains of the explosion, right? The fragments of the Fatty bomb. Yeah, 7K. But I don't know, we get to... Ooh. Fragments of the explosion. Anyway, I'm willing to bet that the moon rock has something to do with his identity, but what? Maybe Phantom fingerprints are on the rock? But fingerprints can be wiped off. And maybe he wanted the rock so bad he literally drilled on it and left DNA? We're dealing with a spy here, Athena, not a slob. True. But maybe the DNA part isn't too far off. Huh? Something unexpected happened to him during the incident 7 years ago. I just know I have something that can show why the Phantom is afraid of the moon rock. I'll just continue with my testimony while you're pondering then, if you don't mind. Okay, so... like, the moon rock was at the... It was at the crime scene. Exploring all the things. Okay, that's what I know. It was at the crime scene, and it was in the bomb. So the very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock means I'm not him.
Hold it!
And how afraid are you exactly? I'm so scared I start to shake even when I see the moon in the sky. Do you shake when you see Miss Sykes' earring? Well, to be honest, since the very first time I met Miss Sykes, I felt more than a little frightened of her. I guess some people just inspire that much fear in others. Mr. Wright, you were thinking something mean-spirited and rude, weren't you? Of course not. Must beef up my 3D defenses. Now do you understand? The very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock proves that, in fact, I'm on the side of justice.
Hold it!
After all that you've done, how dare you speak the word justice? In justice we trust. I'll say it as much as I want, and with absolute confidence. Whatever I say is just. But that's how it works in this dark age of the law. You won't get the best of me with that twisted argument of his. I'll find a way to get him right where I want him. Detective Fulbright? Or rather, the Phantom, Feels fear in regard to the moon rock. It probably has something to do with being afraid that his true identity will be revealed. Right. So that's why the Phantom had to take the moon rock with him 7 years ago. In that case, if we had something to show the real cause of Fulbright's fear, we just might be able to expose his true identity. Okay. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? Stone was cut from a real moon rock. It's found in the boarding lounge and detonated in courtroom number 4. It's at the crime scene 7 years ago. Where is... There. You made it! Hey, howdy, Bacon Butt. Welcome in, welcome in. Okay. So the moon rock was there. Is that the crime scene? Oh. That is interesting. So it was at the crime scene 7 years ago, and then it was launched into space. So you have... Maybe he interacted with it 7 years ago in a way that could be detectable now, 7 years later. I don't know. Let's try... Hold on, I should probably save, because... No, I can't. Oh, yeah, I can. On my last bit of bacon. Alright. It left the planet, and then it came back. That's suspicious compared to the...
Objection!
No, that didn't work. That statement is completely inconsistent with... Ah! Don't be absurd. Ah, I must have gotten it wrong. Could you at least tell me why you think so? In the art of the sword, you must slash your opponent before he draws his weapon. But in your case, you'd be struck down before you even touch your blade. I'll try to draw faster next time. That I'd like to see. But in the meantime... Yes, in the meantime, here's a strike against you. Doomed! I'm afraid that's as far as we can go. At this time, it appears you can't prove that the witness is the Phantom. All we can do is look forward to seeing what the prosecution can dig up in the future. After that, the Phantom vanished completely. The cases remained unsolved, and we were never able to uncover the truth. As the days passed, the dark age of the law only grew darker and darker. Alright, see, that's good. I mean, that's not good that we just died, but that is more satisfying in the previous games where they're like, even if you, like, die, they just decide to declare you guilty anyway, even though you were, like, in a story that was in a state where it wouldn't make any sense. Alright, so we'll retry from the scene. There's an even worse batting in the game? Oh no. Okay, Fear of the Moon Rock. Alright. Okay, so, the moon rock was there. Was there a reason for the Phantom to be afraid of it? I mean, we'll go ahead and give it. Give all the pieces that we have.
Objection!
Not this one. That statement is clearly inconsistent with... Ah! Alright, back. Don't be absurd. Ah. Alright, back. It was a strike against you. Gee, how well they work together. Alright, let's consult with our peers. That's it. I figured it out. If you fail or cross-examining Simon earlier, Simon gets executed or kills Trucy. Athena leaves the office and Apollo stops smiling. Oh no. Heck. That's it. I figured it out. What is it, Apollo? I figured out the contradiction in that testimony. Can I say it? Can I? Sure, go ahead. Because I've got nothing. I think it's a statement that's off. What do you think? Yes, I think so too. I have no idea, actually. Thanks, Apollo. I'll put your intuition to the test right now. Okay, we're originally found to be afraid of Moonrock, not at all. We present. And like my thought was the bomb. Oh, heck. It could be the Moonrock earring. But she didn't have it at the time, did she? She had the headphones on it. Let's try it. Well, hold on. Wait. Make sure it isn't trying to give me any other hits from the besides.
Objection!
No. Oh. The witness's statement is contradictory to this piece of evidence. I'm afraid I don't see anything here. My apologies, Your Honor. It looks like I was wrong. In that case, my apologies, Mr. Wright, for this penalty. I'd better check his statements against the evidence carefully. Okay, original Phantom would have you afraid of the Moonrock, none at all. Other than that, a fragment is in the bomb?
Objection!
No? Don't you find this statement to be a bit odd? You have the question wrong. Huh? I believe you meant to say, don't you find my head to be a bit odd? You'd better not be talking about my hair. If you choose to wave your sword at contradictions that don't exist, better have the soundness of your mind put into question, right, Donald? Subtle, aren't you? I'll have no wild sword waving in my courtroom, Mr. Wright. Maybe I'd better listen to the testimony again. Heck! Alright. We're going to do the shenanigans. The shenanigans. The shenanigans. Afraid of the Moonrock? Really? What? What does the knife have to do with it?
Objection!
Detective Fulbright, I assume you know what this is. Of course. That's the knife the Phantom used to kill Calais Terran. That's right. And the exact same type of knife Miss Sykes used 7 years ago when she stabbed the Phantom's hand. Yes, that was discussed earlier, as I recall. He dodged at first, so I only got his clothes, but I tried again. And this time you got him, didn't you? I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went in the back of his hand. Miss Sykes then stated that she remembers the culprit bleeding. It's my theory that the culprit's blood got out the moon rock. And he was afraid that if the blood was analyzed, his true identity would be revealed. That explains why the Phantom had to remove the moon rock from the crime scene. You mean if we ran the analysis now, we'd know who the Phantom is? Yes, I suppose so. But unfortunately, the moon rock in question is missing. That may be so, but I'm certain I can explain what happened to it in great detail. You can? Of course. Not. Who's in the bomb? You don't actually expect us to believe that, do you? Because you don't fool me. Ah! What this court needs is a bully-free zone. Ah, the infamous sword of the beguiling bluff. Its edge is without compare. Come now, ready it with me, and show us just how finely it cuts. Your Honor, this is an outrage! Oh, I mean, this is an outrage? Ah! Go on, right, Dono. Let's start with something that's been bothering me for a while. Now, the culprit supposedly removed the moon rock from the lab. But in this video of him, it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, you're right. But here's something to consider. What if the Phantom hid the moon rock somewhere at the scene of the crime? Good thinking, boss. Security was super tight at the Space Center back then. All that in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. Does this mean that the moon rock is still somewhere in the Space Center? Nope. In the name of justice, I proclaim that's impossible. And why is that? The Space Center was searched from top to bottom, and especially the lab, but the moon rock was never found. It was put in the Hope capsule. Then they had to kill Terran to get it back out of the capsule, and then they blew it up in the bombing. Huh. Ah, how could I forget about that? A sad but true fact. We still haven't a grasp on how it was done. But the Phantom made the moon rock vanish into the ether. There's no way it just disappeared. Logic and evidence tells us otherwise. The Phantom didn't have the moon rock on him when he left the lab. Yet a thorough police search didn't turn up anything. And it never turned up in the 7 years after that either. The Phantom made the rock disappear without physically removing it himself. But how? There must have been a way. Think, Phoenix, think. Yeah, capsule. How did the moon rock vanish from the robotics lab? So, can you or can you not show what happened to the moon rock, Mr. Wright? Yes, I can, Your Honor. What? Oops, sorry. I mean, what? In that case, let's have your answer, Mr. Wright. How did the Phantom make the moon rock disappear from the crime scene?
Take that!
Well, that's the Hope capsule, right? The one that went up with the half-one rocket? He couldn't carry the rock out, but he couldn't leave it in the center to be found either. So there was only one safe place to stash it. Space! The Hope capsule that was there in the lab that day. Yes. And the team must have loaded it onto the Hope space probe eventually. But if that's what happened, then the moon rock would have been launched up into space along with the rocket. Preposterous. It would mean that for these past 7 years, the moon rock was...
The Scrundly returned.
Exactly. The Phantom got rid of the moon rock in the most cosmic way he knew how. It was out there in the depths of space. Aboard the Hope space probe. What? Order in the court. I understand now. The Phantom's original scheme was to sabotage the Hat One anyway. The villain, he used his primary objective to conveniently kill two birds with one stone. That's right. He planned for the moon rock to be turned into cosmic dust out in space, thereby destroying the one piece of evidence that could reveal his true identity. Oh right, they were going to destroy the whole thing, but there was a miracle. But Mr. Starbuck and the others foiled the Phantom's plot. The Hope space probe sailed off safely on its mission and returned 7 years later, with the capsule in tow. If we analyze the blood on the moon rock, it should make one thing crystal clear. That you were the Phantom all along, Detective Fulbright. No, hey howdy, Hank. Hydrate, stretch, and snack. Such lineups. Hank. Alright. Take this last boost for a snack. Try and figure out how to stretch in this economy. Oink! Oh, oink! And I hydrate also. I hope you're doing all right out there. All right. Oof. Thank you for that trifecta, no.
Ye hopefully y'all are goods.
Anyway. That you were the Phantom all along, Detective Fulbright. So, he killed Clay just so he could get the moon rock back? I believe so. His original assignment may have been just to sabotage the Hat too, but at the same time, he also had to retrieve the evidence of his crime 7 years ago. That's why he went to the boarding lounge. Oh, again, they're trying to destroy everything. And then you have to make sure that it actually was destroyed in the kaboom. But it wasn't. Because heroes came in, tried to pull it out. That's why he went to the boarding lounge. And attacked Clay as he made his escape out of the rocket with the capsule. But in the end, it was all he could do just to escape himself, so he didn't get the capsule. Clay must have done everything he could to stop Fulbright. He probably hung onto that capsule for all he was worth, until his very last breath. Oh, this is so funny. You make me laugh, you really do. Boy, he's totally out of whack now. It's game over for you, Detective Fulbright. Why don't you just admit to it all now? There's nothing to admit. I'm Bobby Fulbright, undercover investigator, I tell you. I am not the Phantom. The blood on the rock is just another one of his schemes. A trap. I'm not sure what to think. I suppose if the Phantom is a spy worth his salt, our trap is not out of the question.
Objection!
But in that case, you could say anything is a trap. That's what makes a trap a trap. I've been framed into taking the blame for the Phantom. Your Honor, I believe further investigation is in order.
Silence!
Further investigation? More like plotting your escape. But no more. I will bring you to justice myself if I must. Here and now. I guess it's time to show you just what I'm really capable of. Die, Simon Blackwell! Hey, you guys aren't really... Oh. Looks like I made it just in time. Edgeworth. I have good news for you, Mr. Wright. We've uncovered some very crucial facts. Did you find something out about the Phantom's true identity? You might say that. But you wanted to see a fight in the courtroom. I started by looking into the first people on the scene 7 years ago. All three, an employee and 2 officers, were registered in the robot's recognition systems. But none of them looked the least bit like Detective Fulbright. That's not good. But there's more. I get to share my most important finding. Mr. Wright, Prosecutor Blackwell, you'd best brace yourselves. Uh-oh. The man you see there before you, Bobby Fulbright, is already long dead. Bam, bam, bam. Huh. What's that supposed to mean? Well, we met him in the Valley of the Yokai, so... An unidentified body that was found a year ago has now been proven to possess Bobby Fulbright's fingerprints. Then does this mean... Yes, that man there is an imposter pretending to be Bobby Fulbright. An imposter?
Among Us.
Among Us? Then this man... Who in the world is he? Bobby Susbright. Enough of your trickery. If you will not reveal yourself to us, then I shall do it for you. Eh? What the? No. His face. Oh, look what you did to my mask. Mask? What is the meaning of this, witness? Okay, you got me. I guess I have to show you who I really am now. Ominosity! Wait, but that's... Hey, Apollo. Yep, it's me, Solomon Starbuck. Mr. Starbuck, but that can't be right. You can't really be the Phantom, can you?
Silence!
Of course not. The real Starbuck was aboard the Hat One, which was set to be destroyed. Yeah, this is just another mask. I mean, didn't I tell you? I'm an undercover investigator. I can change identities at will. I can be anyone I want.
Objection!
Not so fast. I have a Phantom's psych profile right here. If we compile a psych profile on you and compare the results, it'll prove that you're the Phantom. It's time for me to show you the real meaning of the phrase, the end justifies the means. That voice, those words. I cannot accept such evidence here, Miss Sykes. Professor Means! Is this mask? I'll take what I want, by any means necessary. Now, give me that evidence. Huh? Time to take out the trash. Permanently. How could you? Now do you see how powerful the end justifies the means can be?
Silence!
How pathetic. You can't even speak without wearing another man's face. Ah, but that's the life of an undercover agent for you. My real face has no meaning or value to me at all. Or perhaps it really is. It is really the case that you don't even know who you are anymore. What must you see when you look in the mirror, Mr. Phantom? Not an awful lot, I'd wager. Ah, well, aren't you just a master of psychology, Blackwell? That's right. I don't know who I am. I am always living as someone else for my assignments. I don't remember what my face looks like. Or even what my personality was like. My face, memories, personality, beliefs, emotions, and soul. I left them all behind. I have no self. I am no one. I am nothing but an endless abyss. What's with this guy? Is he even still human? Also sus. And now we resume with your lesson, Professor Wright. Oh, huh? I believe you made this argument earlier. If you were to analyze the blood on the moon rock, you could prove that I am the Phantom. I believe there was blood on the moon rock in that capsule. Now that we know you aren't even Bobby Fulbright, your claims of a phantom trap won't work anymore. Then why don't you bring this moon rock in? This decisive evidence from the Hope capsule? I think I will do just that. Get ready, because the Hope capsule is about to seal your... Fudge! It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens. It looks like you have finally caught on. Full marks for the defense for effort. But what a shame your hope was lost in that courtroom explosion. So that's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It was all for the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence.
Isn't the earring the moon rock?
I think it's been worked to... I mean, it's not the part of the moon rock in question. I'm pretty sure we're meant to use this piece of moon rock here that's marked 7K. That is inside the Fantee. that was collected along with the scraps of things.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Have we really reached a dead end after coming all this way? Has the only evidence we have on this guy really been destroyed? How dare you continue to call me the Phantom? As I've said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent.
Objection!
And the defense will continue to assert that you are the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof. Or at least, a prayer. Oh, I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. Please put some weight behind your swing, right, Dunno. I know, I'm trying. There's only one thing that can unmask this menace, the moon rock. But that was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. And yet, is it really gone without a trace? What if some tiny part, some little fragment still exists? Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rock there too. That strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture. Very well, Mr. Wright. Let's see your proof. What evidence will finally prove the Phantom's identity?
Take that!
Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom, and the moon rock along with it? Are you saying this will reveal the Phantom's identity? Yes, Your Honor. Interestingly, it's a phony Phantom bomb? No. Yes, Your Honor. Focus your attention on this photo taken after the bombing. Specifically, right here.
Take that!
Please take a look at this newspaper article. This article about the Hat won? Now please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moon rock. And when we look at this photo of the bomb fragments, see how there is a rock-like object with the same coloration? Oh, my, yes, I see it. It would seem that the moon rock was much more durable than the Phantom thought. If we take a look at all the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with blood. And DNA testing on that blood will prove that the witness is indeed the Phantom. Unbelievable. But that's impossible. A surprise to be sure. That's one bloody tough rock. Let us have the fragments tested straight away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, fool bride. Bailiff, contact the police department immediately and order the testing. Prosecutor Blackwell, what do the test results show? There was a rock. Yeah, Taka is like the only reason it goes to Blackwell. Because Taka is the delivery bark. There was a rock fragment that had blood on it that appeared to be several years old. DNA testing revealed. Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed. They confirmed it was a witness's blood, didn't they? There's no use in trying to talk your way out of it anymore. Admit it, you are the Phantom.
Objection!
Huh? Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself? No, he's doing shenanigans. No, I didn't say a word. And that was my objection, Apollo. What? Huh? Ah! Why? It was a pretty good objection, too, don't you think? Now he's me. Insert Spider-Man pointing at each other meme. So, did you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright? Ah? Oh, no, not really, Your Honor. What? No, not you, Mr. Wright. I mean the witness, Mr. Wright.
Oh no, trying to get a body double so he doesn't get sniped.
Could this trial get any more insane? Mr. Wright, this fragment of rock in the photograph, and those just like it. How can you be sure they're pieces of the same moon rock that was at the robotics lab? Care to explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had my blood on it. But how do you know they're not just rocks? You can't prove they're the moon rock, right?
Oh, testing the earring maybe.
Probably. Don't be absurd. Just compare the fragment with the rock in the newspaper article. Anybody can see they're the same. They have the exact same coloration.
Objection!
But maybe some other rock with the same coloration happened to be in the courtroom. It's highly unlikely a rock with such a unique appearance just happened to be here. But you can't deny it's a possibility.
Objection!
But your blood was found on one of the fragments. Apollo, there's nothing suspicious about my blood being on a piece of rock. And why not? I know it sounds like an excuse, but several years ago I tripped and fell in this very courtroom and was hurt pretty badly. Maybe that's how my blood found its way onto a piece of rubble. Even he must realize how ridiculous that sounds. And yet I suppose it's not completely out of the question. I see you're starting to sweat, Mr. Wright. I thought that the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from. Well, why don't we get those fragments analyzed? We could ask an expert to verify if they're from the moon rock in the robotics lab or not. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that just isn't going to be possible. Why not? In order to prove that the fragments are from what you say they are from, you'd need a sample of the moon rock from 7 years ago to compare it with. We have one. But that moon rock doesn't exist anymore, and there's no sample data left either. We even talked about it earlier in this conversation. So, you see, short of going back in time, there's no way to prove that any of the fragments are from that moon rock. Oh, no. There's really no way to prove it? You, back! Are you finally ready to throw in the towel?
Objection!
So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh?
He's probably using the shock of his stunt to make people try to forget.
Some. He's just going at it with pure chutzpah. That's alright. It was such a valuable rock, too. A shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. He's wrong. It's not completely lost. There's another piece of it right here by our side. A shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around. The final piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The defense has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. You have what now? A final fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care. We do? We do, even if the person holding it hasn't realized it yet. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Pay no attention to him, Your Honor. He's just bluffing as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. The piece of evidence that shows the original moon rock isn't completely lost is this. Just about the only things my mother left me with her Ouija. One, this earring. Maybe she did love me, in her own way. Athena, you may not know it, but your mother left you with a very important piece of evidence. She did? You're bluffing. You don't have anything of the kind. Again, we talked about it earlier in this procedure. Oh, but we do. Evidence that will finally corner you. Because we have a moon rock of our own.
Just realized she had something tantamount to asbestos next to her face.
Yeah, it could be totally radioactive and everything. But no, but yeah, like I said, we were talking earlier, specifically about Fulbright being scared of Athena because her earring was moon rock. It's not like it's a new revelation. Why are we making it a new revelation? Because we have a moon rock of our own. Yeah. Oh! You mean... Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left her daughter. An item Athena has cherished and worn all these years. As distant as Dr. Sykes may have seemed to her daughter, that fragment of her love will shake off the darkness of the past and give us all hope for the future. Okay, hydrate, we can do that. Like, thank you, Irish Mail. Oof, oof. Oh no, we're supposed to be switching to Mario soon. This is the defense's sample of the moon rock.
Take that!
Voodoo.
That's your sample. Hey, dog guy, hook him out. This earring that Mrs. Sykes always wears was made from that original moon rock. What? All this time, it was right here all along. Again, we talked about it earlier in the scene! No, it can't be. If the composition of the bomb fragments and the earring are found to be a match, then it will prove beyond the shadow of the doubt the origin of the fragment in this photo. And since the test results show that the blood on the fragments was yours, this means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. The identity I tried to hide? I don't have an identity to hide. I may not have Athena's ears, but now even I can hear the fear in your voice. Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all my emotions behind years ago.
Objection!
Every human being feels fear. You simply can't face the emotions inside you. You can't face them because you have nothing. No love, no trust. And I suppose you do. What kind of objection is that? I didn't have anybody support me at first either. I couldn't face the fear inside me. Couldn't get over trauma.
Is love.
Couldn't get over trauma of my past. Well, like I said, I don't feel fear.
Objection!
And you're just a coward for running away from yourself. When I had my doubts about Miss Sykes, I felt like I would collapse under the weight. But I wanted to trust her. And I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. That's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. Running away from myself? How can I run away from myself? When there's nothing inside, nothing at all.
Objection!
I know it's hard for someone as unwilling to trust others as you to understand. But people have emotions. It's just a fact of life. And so, people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another. So they can gain the strength to face themselves when things are at their bleakest. Without trust in others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? The fear inside of me is this. No. Ah! Ah! I'm afraid. I'm scared. Ah! I feel fear. You can't outrun yourself. Remove that mask and unleash your emotions. Confront your guilt head on. With your own true face. Oh dear. My own true face? No, please don't. I know you're here. Where are you? See? I haven't revealed anything yet. Honest. Ah! Ah! My own true face! I don't have one! My face! My face! My face! Oh no! It's just taking on more. Is this my face? Is it? No, that's not it! No! This isn't me. Is this me? Which one is my face? What am I? Who am I? Best break down. Oh no. Is he breaking down long enough for it to get dark outside? George, your eyes are closed. You missed it. A sniper attack in this very courtroom. It chills me to my bones. But the police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Prosecutor Blackwell, how is Detective Fulbright, his imposter, doing? He's a lucky fellow. The bullet didn't hit any vital organs. He appears to be in no danger of dying. Well, that was fortunate for all of us. The analysis of that final piece of evidence the right donor submitted is in. The composition of Miss Sykes' earring and the fragment of blood on it match. We can now be certain that it is a fragment of the moon rock in question. The murders and bombings at the Space Center, both past and present. The bombing of courtroom number 4, and all of his other crimes, as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all of these things, the spy, known as the Phantom, has been incarcerated. Abolish prison, but do it a different way. The prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There are still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about, after all. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, it's time to finally bring this trial to an end. But, before I do, will the defendant please return to her proper place? Yes, Your Honor. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Athena Sykes, not guilty. Court is adjourned. December 20, 9:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Thank you, Pearls, and thank you for being there for Athena. It's the least I could do. But Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong throughout the whole trial. Daddy, I'm so glad to see you. Terusi, are you all right? Are you hurt? I'm fine, Daddy. I was doing magic tricks for the other hostages to keep our spirits up. It's Terusi for you. I'm really glad to see you're safe. Right. I fear I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. Edgeworth. We never would have caught him if it weren't for all of you. Aw, come on, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? You're the ones who've been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you were the one who gave Blackwell permission to serve as prosecutor, right? Yes, well... We knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. The police and I were trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial. Well, we never would have won this trial without you. It was your help as chief prosecutor that was the key to a successful conclusion. Besides, it was you that saw to it I got my attorney's badge back, wasn't it? So you figured it out, did you? Yeah. Getting my license back went just a little too smoothly, you know? It should have been much harder after that evidence forging scandal. Well, I owed you a few favors. Hey, Edgeworth, think we can finally bring the Dark Age of the Law to an end? Even the darkest night turns to dawn eventually. Our sun will rise again. Besides, now that Prosecutor Blackwell has been cleared of all charges, a great deal of mistrust toward the court system should have been swept away. You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. It won't kill you. Instead, the furrows in that brow of yours just keep getting deeper and deeper. So I should smile more, huh? I'll think about it. Our complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals. Athena? Oh. I'm forever in your debt. You went to all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you were overseas. Well, I knew that if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. So I studied and studied. I was frantic. I'm so glad I made it in time. Just barely, but I still made it. Let a girl, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out, nevertheless that she did that earlier. Yes, I survived by the skin of my teeth, thanks to you. Just shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that. It was never my intention to just throw my life away. Some things in this world are more important than your own life. Like what? My honor-bound duty to protect with my life. My mentor's most beloved treasure. Huh? It means you. That's some loyalty. This guy really is a samurai through and through. Well, it looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, and thank you both. It took all of us together to pull it off. You bet, boss. What a team we are, huh? Yeah, it's definitely the most amazing turnabout I've ever seen. I'm a lucky guy. My office has the best, most capable lawyers around. Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna work extra hard to make up for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice is fine and ready to go. Let's hear it for the Right Anything Agency. Well, nobody's gonna try harder than me, so you better watch out, Apollo. Simon's free thanks to Mr. Right. There's so many more people out there who need our help. You're right, and I'll be needing you both to help them. We still have a long way to go. Get ready, you two. We won a major victory, but the war is far from over. There are still people out there suffering under false charges who need defending. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, if we ever hope to fully bring the Dark Age of the law to a close. Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate with a bowl of piping hot noodles. Huh? Nothing like a bowl of Elduin's noodles after a trial. All on Mr. Wright's tab. That's how it works at the Right Anything Agency, right, Mr. Wright? Huh? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude to your people for their great work. In that case, allow me to join in the festivities. I would greatly welcome a bowl of noodles. I have an idea, Daddy. Why don't you just invite everybody involved with the case? The more the merrier, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you've come. Who knew you'd grow up to be such a generous gentleman? Guys, under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say. Only if I get to join in. Hey, no fair. I want to say it too. Okay, here we go. Objection. I have to hit the button.
Objection!
Alright. Story director, Takeshi Yamazaki. I was trying to think of something nice I could do for Polly now that he's back. So I decided to go around and get a bunch of jobs for him to do. Find a lost cat, install an air conditioner, give a computer lesson, find a lost item. You think I should have found him a few legal cases? Nah, that's okay. This is the Right Anything Agency after all. Game director, Yashiro Seto. Thane and Apollo were so wonderful in court. I better study as much as I can if I want to be a judge someday. My grandma says eat lots of peppers and they'll ignite your passion. Oh, but I should figure out which to grow, green peppers or yellow peppers. Maybe I should go with the hot as the sun red peppers instead. Story, Yuki Nakamura, Hironao Fukura, Goki Fusei, Yukidori Kitajima, Synthese Company Limited. The end of the Dark Age of the Law, you say? How naive. Don't you know it's sometimes necessary to get a guilty verdict by any means possible? What? They're putting me under investigation? The chief prosecutor wants to see me? Game design, Yoriki Daigo, Natsuki Kawa, Takanori Yama. Alright. We're not going to keep up with the names. Probably. I've been asked to debut the great masked wrestler Temataro. He's scheduled to go up against the amazing Ninetales. Oh, what to do? A fight to the finish myself? Why didn't you ask Mr. Demon Lawyer to be the amazing Ninetales too? That's not a bad idea. I bet he'd be all for it. Caw. So we are to meet as foes, my little friend. Would you believe it? I'm Alderman of Ninetales Vale now. Pretty impressive, eh? I took over after Rex killed me for the good of my beloved village. What do you say? Would you like to make a little donation to help us out? Hey you, what do you think you're doing, Snake in the Manor? The jig's up. Better make a run for it. I wanted to be an artist, but after seeing the amazing job Athena did, I started becoming genuinely interested in the law. So now I'm studying for the bar exam. I'm gonna prosecute Athena someday. You'll see. SCE, whatever. Studying my buns off too, not for the bar exam. I'm going to pass the Themis entrance exam, my own this time, with a score of 100 points, of course. You, Juniper, our dream will live on forever! I found really sweet boxes for all three of them, but they won't wear them. It's because I want to be a legal journalist instead of a lawyer or a judge. But anyway, thanks to trials, school newspaper's future is as bright as can be. Let's see what the fresh blood have to say in the new school paper. Our editor cried so hard at graduation rehearsal, the cardboard box got soggy. I totally forgot her voice. I don't think I really had it properly. The one night only reunion concert. I still remember that evening of passion. President of the student council sang like no high school student I'd ever heard. And she's a judge in her own court someday. Be the coolest trial ever. Yeah, can already hear it now. I gave this place a good cleaning from top to bottom, but it's already a mess again. I guess the only thing I can do now is clean up the attitudes of the people in this office. With Mystic Maya due to come here once her training is over, it simply must be done. Humanity's dreams for outer space will never die. In fact, planning for the HAT 3 rocket has already begun. Look upon me, people of this great nation, and great Yuri Cosmos. What do you... Oh, Director. Yes. Rocket preparations are fully complete. Yes, you just leave everything to me. Assistant Director Yuri Cosmos. No. I'm going to the moon in the new rocket. If Athena or Mommy Metis came to the moon, I'd love to show them around. But which is more interesting, Montes Pyrenees or the Mare Tancretatis? You think they would like either one? Yay, hooray. I wonder how Miss Aura is doing. I'd rather be near Miss Aura than on the moon. Oh, Miss Aura, I just want you to use me again, like you used to. Ready for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. I'm going to the moon for real this time. Thanks to my lawyers, I now know I should never give up. But I'm worried. Can't breathe in space. It's cold as heck. Oh man, I'm getting really nervous. No, I'm not employed here. I simply came to request their services in defense of my sister. But no one's around and I've been kept waiting for a long time. And what sort of case brings you here? Oh, your father was accused and you wish for Athena to defend him. Then perhaps he and I shall meet in a courtroom in the near future. I have to defend Aura, oh no. I look forward to your next month's salary assessment. Please forgive me. Blackwell's acquittal has brought all manner of ills in the prosecutor's office to light. It seems solving that case has thawed the chill of winter and the warmth of spring. I know right, another debt of gratitude. I'll repay him one day. Trust in that. Okay. Oh dear. Bordens? Bordens? Alright. There is still supposed to be another adventure in this game, right? It's given me in the order they came in, so I know they like to give extra, I guess, past credits or whatever. Who knows? How they've trilogized it. Yeah. Yeah, they're like all the cases, they're not in their chronological order. And yeah, it does bark bark. Dynacom one. Okay. Oh no. Oh no.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Mr. Starbuck!
You'll be fine! Just believe in yourself!
The moon's closer than you think!
Thanks, guys. I wouldn't have made it back into space if it wasn't for you.
All right!
Anime is real. Through the years, I've seen as much joy as heartache, honesty as deceit. But just as Mr. Starbuck was able to escape the harsh pull of his fears and despair, I believe that hope and friendship can lift us all up towards a brighter tomorrow. End. And Turnabout for tomorrow awarded. Yes. Continue on to the next game. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. No. Special episode. There it is. That we did not see, but we're not going to do that today. Interesting that it just doesn't want to, that it would move me on to the next game without, even suggesting it to me. Well, we'll have to come back to that next time. For now, we need to switch to our other game. Woo!